Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about my Becca collection. This is everything that I have ever purchased or received as a gift or anything from Becca Cosmetics. It is in fact my favorite high-end makeup brand of everything that I've tried thus far, and I haven't tried everything, but so far so good. I am impressed. I really love the brand, and as you can see here, I have accumulated quite a good selection of items, and I wanted to get this video out to you because there are a few new products that Becca Cosmetics has launched, and they are seemingly launching more and more things every week. So I wanted to do this video on what I have right now before I start shopping around and accumulating more items. So I have foundations, I have face powders, I have the Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. This is the Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle. This is the Low Light Highlight Powder, the face primer, and the Afterglow palette, as well as the regular beach tint product. So let's start off with foundations. I have two of them. I have the shades Sandalwood and Sienna, and really the shades are pretty much the same. The only difference really is that one has a more orange undertone and the other has a more red undertone. So this one here is Sandalwood and this next one is Sienna. Sandalwood has more of that orange and Sienna has more of that red, but truthfully they're almost identical. They really only make the difference when you're outside or when you're under lighting, and then you can actually see the undertone. But for an ordinary, just everyday kind of look, you really can't tell. I like both. They both suit my skin tone. They are both a little bit too dark for me, a little bit too deep, but I do wear them more so on the perimeter of my face, and then I go in with a lighter shade of foundation more towards the center of my face. I am thinking about picking up the shade in Tobacco, but we'll see. So next we have the Becca Perfect Skin Mineralized Powder Foundation. I use these as my setting powders or my face powders. Whenever I wear the Becca foundation, I wear the Becca powders with them. I tend to wear most powder foundations as setting powders because I find that they hold up on my face a lot better than just a regular face powder or a finishing powder. I find that powder foundations have more of a longevity. So I first picked up the shade Tobacco because I don't like getting my face powders too deep to set my entire face, because I find that a lot of the time they oxidize and they just make me look really dark, and my face and my body just don't look right. So I like to get a shade that has a little bit more yellow, that offers a little bit more radiance and a little bit more brightness to the skin. So that is this here. I'll go ahead and swatch it, and that is the swatch of the powder. It's kind of a mustard kind of powder. You can't even really tell in the swatch, but it blends really nicely into the skin, and it's just flawless. This next shade here is in Cacao. This is also from the Mineralized Powder Foundation line. This is the deepest shade that they offer. So if you are a very deep toned woman of color and you have a hard time finding powder foundations or even liquid foundations that may match or that can match your skin tone, check Becca out because they do go into very deep shades. I got this powder for contouring because it blends so effortlessly into the skin. The powder foundation, when I first got this, I fell in love with it, so I definitely had to go back and get the deepest shade. And the thing about how I like to contour is I definitely like finding a face powder that is my skin tone, and then I go back if I like the powder and I pick up the deepest shade because they are the same formula. They work great together and they blend effortlessly. So this is the cacao shade. This is very deep, it's very red based. So if you are looking for a contour powder, I would suggest using this. You need a very light hand with this product. It works beautifully. This one here, they don't sell this in Sephora or Ulta. I got this on Amazon. This is the Becca. This is also a mineral powder. This is actually a smaller compact size than the other two. This is in the shade Cherish as well. Cherish is the shade that is identical to Tobacco. The reason why they have a different name is because before Becca came to the US, they were in the UK and Australia, and the powders had different names and different sizes and all of that. So this is the old packaging. This is what I keep in my purse to touch up on the go. This is my touch up powder. I love it because once I absorb the oils from my face and I just go over any spots that need fixing, it just goes on seamlessly onto the skin and makes everything better. Now we're gonna get into the Shimmering Skin Perfectors. The Shimmering Skin Perfectors were the products that drew me to the line in the first place. They were the items that grasped my attention before Becca Cosmetics blew up all over YouTube and social media. When they just came into Sephora, I noticed this shade here in Topaz. Oh my gosh, when I tell you I fell in love and I fell hard. I needed this beautiful golden bronzed shade in my life. I saw this. I did not buy it the very first time I saw it because it is a pretty hefty price. And so I saw it and I walked away from it and I just could not get over it. So eventually I ended up going back and I picked it up, and I have, oh my gosh, this is my favorite illuminator to this day. Of all the illuminators that I have, and you guys see me haul illuminators all the time because it's become one of my favorite beauty items. This is my ultimate favorite. I'll even go ahead and give you guys a swatch of it. So this is Topaz swatched on the hand, on the finger. So this is a swatch of Topaz on the finger, and this is Topaz on the back of the hand. Look at that bronze beauty. This is the perfect illuminator for women of color. I know we want to all wear the champagne tones. I know we all want to wear opal, and we can because I do have opal in here, but I want you to know that there is nothing like a beautiful bronze gold illuminator on deep skin tones. Okay, get you something gold, get you something bronze. I'm telling you, you will look at yourself differently. Something with a orange undertone, something with a red undertone. Yes, that is what works for our skin tones. Now, speaking of opal, opal was the next one that I went in for, and I would swatch it every time I went into Sephora, and so I did like it enough to get it. Opal has this pinky gold undertone. You can see it there. It does pull gold, but it also pulls really pink as well. And it definitely works on women of color. Okay, you can definitely wear this. You can definitely pull this off. And what I like to do is layer opal on top of Topaz, and it's kind of like my spotlight kind of illuminator. Oh guys, look at that. The next one that I got was Blushed Copper. This is when Blushed Copper was limited edition. It is now permanent as part of one of the luminous blushes that Becca just released for the spring. This is another one of those shades that is just beautiful on women of color. It is a rose gold bronze kind of shade. I do have rose gold. I'll show you that in a little bit. But this is just a different kind of shade from rose gold. This has more bronze in it. It has more red in it. And oh, just to put it plainly, this is something that will look beautiful on our skin tone. This is for us. Okay, guys, go get this. It's very pink, very bronze, very copper. This is a swatch of it. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'll go ahead and put it right here. It's just like penny copper kind of a shade. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful? Oh, I am in love. I have rose gold in a miniature size, a travel size, because I got it in a kit from Ulta that had these other two products in it. And this is a true rose gold shade. You can see the yellow gold shift in the light, but it's very, very rosy. This is also something, if you are of a lighter skin tone, you may consider using this as more of an illuminating blush. But if you are a woman of color, once again, this is one of those shades that will work on you. I'll swatch it right here under Topaz. That is rose gold. I actually should have showed you it next to blush copper, but you can see that blush copper is definitely more bronze and red, and this is actually more of a petal pink kind of soft color. Okay, next up is Champagne Pop. This is the collaboration between Jaclyn Hill and Becca. The hype for this product was real. Now, this is one of those products that is very tricky. It catches the light just as beautifully as all the other Shimmering Skin perfectors, but I've seen people on both ends of the spectrum where this just did not suit them. So if you are extremely light, this is going to look very peach on you, and if you are extremely deep, this is going to look very frosty on you, from what I've seen anyway. That's what I've deducted. So if you are pretty much in the middle, I think that this will work for you. I actually got this. I actually was not going to get it because I have Opal, and I told myself, oh, it's too close to Opal, I don't need it. But then when I bought it and I swatched it next to Opal, I was like, oh, they're completely different. I absolutely need it. So that's a swatch. It's very peach. I'll go ahead and put it next to Opal so you can see. So you can see that Champagne Pop is definitely more golden. It does have peach, but if you look at Opal, Opal seems to be a little bit more peach than Champagne Pop, doesn't it? And Champagne Pop seems to be a little bit more golden, but on the face, they just look so different. They reflect light differently, and I just had to have them both. If you are a woman of color, I definitely recommend getting Topaz, and now that blush copper is permanent, I recommend getting blush copper as well as rose gold. If you are of a medium skin tone, I definitely suggest Champagne Pop, Opal, or rose gold. And if you are lighter, I suggest getting Champagne Pop. They also have Moonstone, and I have Moonstone not as an individual compact, but I have it in this palette. This is the Becca Afterglow palette. I got this during the holiday from Ulta. Ulta had the Afterglow, and Sephora had the Champagne Glow that has pearl, it has Champagne Pop, and it has blush copper in it. I actually wanted that one, but I was unable to get it because it was always out of stock. But I did get the Afterglow palette, and this has Moonstone in it, so I'll go ahead and swatch Moonstone for you. If you are a fair complexion, I would suggest getting this. I'll swatch Moonstone next to Opal as well so you can see. Moonstone is definitely more of a white frosty shade. They all have a bit of gold in them, but they have their unique coloring. And since we're talking about the Afterglow palette also has rose gold and topaz in it, and then it has two of the blushes. It has Wild Honey and Flower Child. Okay, I actually really like these blushes. They actually surprisingly work well on my skin tone. I was a little bit skeptical, but once I got this palette and I was able to try them out, I was surprised and I was pleased. So this is the Afterglow palette. It does pick up a lot of fingerprints, but hey, it's beautiful nevertheless. This product here is sort of a hybrid. This is the Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle, and I have the shade Watermelon and Moonstone. So it's kind of an illuminating mousse kind of blush. This is so beautiful on the cheeks. It's very soft. I'm pretty sure that these are supposed to be waterproof. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think they're supposed to be. I've not tested it as far as that's concerned. This is something that I was trying to either pan or empty because of the consistency of the product. It is that mousse, cushiony, soft kind of texture, and these kinds of things tend to go bad really quickly. So I definitely wanted to get my use out of it. But let me be perfectly honest with you when I say a little bit goes a long way. Like, I literally stipple this onto my cheeks, and or you can use your fingers with it, but I use a stippling brush, and I swear that it only takes a little bit to get full color from this. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually pan this or finish it up this year. This is the shade right here. It's a very beautiful NARS Orgasm kind of peach shade, and the swatch really doesn't do it justice, but on the cheeks, it's beautiful. I'll go ahead and show you these two products first. As I mentioned before, this came in a little kit. This is a travel or a sample size of the Shimmering Skin Perfector liquid, I guess. Yeah, it's the liquid. And it's actually called Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlight. And this is in the shade Opal. So this is the liquid version of this powder. So you can see they have that really nice pearlescent gold peach kind of a thing going on. This is another one of those products where a little bit goes a long way. You really just need to dot this onto your skin, and you can either take your beauty blender or your finger and just spread it out. It's a very beautiful liquid illuminator. You can either mix this in with your foundation, you can wear it as is, or you can wear it as a base to enhance your powder illuminators. Next up is this beach tint. This is in the shade Guava. This is one of those products that you can use on your cheeks and your lips. Personally, I prefer just using it on my lips. I rather just use a powder blush, to be honest. And it's pretty sheer for my skin tone, so on my cheeks, I know blush is supposed to be sheer, but on my cheeks this really doesn't do very much. But I do like the tint that it'll give my lips. Actually, let me go ahead and put it here. Maybe you'll be able to see the color better. That looks so much better. And that's kind of what it looks like on my lips. And I'll go ahead and swatch the souffle over again as well. Right there so that you can see it better. So this is the souffle. I'll swatch it here so that you can see it better. Okay. So these two are supposed to be variations of each other. Next up is the Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. Say that 5 times fast. This is the travel size, or the sample size, I guess, more so the travel size. At one point had the full size, which I think is about 3.7 ounces. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. And I did finish that up. This is a product that I really only use during the summertime because it is very mattifying. This is the most intense mattifying primer that I own, and this gets the job done every time. So when you have those summer days that are extremely, extremely hot and you know that your makeup is gonna give you some trouble, you can just look outside sometime and tell that it's gonna be a bad makeup day. But this thing right here, this gets the job done. I have a whole summertime just priming technique that I go to whenever those extremely hot days start to kick in, and this is a part of that system that I that I turn to. I don't use this in the winter because my skin tends to be a lot drier. I'm not really all that oily, and I don't really have a use or a need for this during the cooler seasons, but definitely during those extreme summer days, I turn to this. Last, but certainly not least, this is my most recent Becca purchase. This is the Low Light Highlight Perfecting Palette Pressed. And this is something that I hummed and hawed over for a very long time. I wanted this product, but again, the price tag kind of puts me back, and I have to really see if I want it. Like, if I can't stop thinking about it, and then I'll go ahead and get it, especially if it's not a limited edition product. Limited edition products that I want, I tend to jump on as long as they are available, and I don't have to struggle too hard to get them. But something that's permanent, I will definitely take more time to think about it, and this is definitely something that I could not stop thinking about. I love this product. It is a very gray toned brown kind of contour shade, and it has an illuminator at the bottom. At first I thought this illuminator was opal because I was hearing through the beauty grapevine that it was opal, and I would swatch it next to opal, and I would just always think that, you know, I don't know, they did something different about it. So this is the illuminator here. I'll go ahead and swatch opal. And whereas they do look really similar, especially on camera, they are definitely not the same shade. I'll go ahead and put, so this is the illuminator from the Highlight Low Light palette, and this is opal. I don't know, the camera really is not showing very much difference, but in person you can see that they do have some different tones in them. So this is them side by side. Nevertheless, you can never have too many Becca illuminators. This was a very happy purchase for me. I was very excited to get this because, like I said, I've been thinking about it for a long time, and the contour shade just is beautiful. It really does do a really good job at shadowing the face. It doesn't really add warmth or anything like that. You're not gonna get any warmth from this because it's definitely a gray toned brown, so there's no orange, there's no red. It's just to give you some shadowing. So love that product. So yes guys, this is everything that I currently own from Becca Cosmetics. Like I mentioned, I have every intention of picking up a few new items that I am watching right now, that I have my eye on right now. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to picking them up, but I'm sure that over time they will come. And maybe I'll do an update or just show you them in a haul or review or some other kind of video. But this is everything that I own. This is such a beautiful brand. I really love that Becca Cosmetics caters to every skin tone, because you can get very fair porcelain kind of shadings, as well as very deep cocoa mocha kind of shading or products for those skin tones. And I have a very, very big appreciation for that, to just have everybody be included. So I love this brand. I support this brand. It does sometimes take me a minute to shell out the dollars that each one of these products would cost individually, but eventually I do buckle down and get what it is that I want, because the quality is just amazing. Okay, you know, there are a lot of products that you can dupe between high-end and drugstore, but I don't want to dupe anything from Becca. You know, I want to have the Becca experience as is. I don't want to look for a drugstore comparison or anything like that. So yes, I love this brand. I do enjoy everything that you see I have here. I use everything that you see I have. This isn't just for show. I don't buy these things. I don't spend this much money just to look at it. I definitely get my use out of all of these products, and there's not one thing that I regret. I regret nothing. I love them all, And like I said, I'm definitely looking to pick up a few new items. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do another collection style video, please let me know in the comment section down below. Please feel free to check out the description box for any links, any past videos, anything like that. Check out, see what information is down in there. Check out my social media. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I know that you want to. Go ahead and subscribe, guys, and thanks so much for watching again. I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.